All right, all right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Hope you're feeling good this morning. My name's Haziq Ali. We're getting this party started. If you're rocking with us, then let us know. Give us a replay, gang, if you're watching the replay. Got something really excited, man. We about to introduce some brand new sets. You know, me and wife have been putting in work behind the scenes. We're gonna introduce that. Actually, you know, I'm gonna tell you more about that in a minute. But make sure you let them know you're watching the replay. I never get a chance to respond to everybody right away, but it always makes me feel good when I go back through there and I'm able to see everybody representing from all over the country. So let them know where you're from. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Let them know where you're from. And if you want bonus points, okay, let them know what kind of business you have. Like what kind of, how do you impact the world? You know what I mean? Let's check in. Good morning, millionaires. Maybe you're watching from the Facebook page. Maybe you're watching from my timeline. Salute. You know, maybe you're watching from the YouTube. That's my favorite right now. We're trying to get this YouTube part cracking. You know what I mean? So please like, comment, share. Appreciate that. Please share the training. You may know somebody who needs a little mental toughness. You know what I mean? Thank God it's Monday. You hear me? You know, maybe you know an entrepreneur that could use an exercise that allows them to get better. This is that time for them. Where you representing from? What's up, April? Yeah. How was your weekend? You know, did everybody enjoy themselves this weekend? You know, I hope you did. You know, I know I did. I'm loving, you know, I don't want to date this recording, but at the time I record this, the Oscars just now happened. And I normally don't care about stuff like this, okay? But I am loving the fact that Judas and the Black Messiah had the homie pull it off for playing Fred Hampton. Normally, if you know like I know, in those types of situations, what will happen is they'll give somebody the Oscar for playing the Judas. You know what I mean? Like Halle Berry is still the only woman to win in that category. The only black woman to win in that category. No Viola Davis, no Angela Bassett, okay? No Angela Davis. You know, Angela Bassett, yeah, but no Angela Davis, and no Ruby Dee. You know what I mean? That's what I meant, Ruby Dee. What a time to be alive, though. There's really starting to be a power circle that's starting to develop, and everybody's mentioning it. I think that's super cool. And we got a lot to celebrate. I hope you're feeling like you have a lot to celebrate. You know, we coming up on Juneteenth. It's one of my favorite times of the year. You know what I mean? I get excited for that.
Hello, this is Les Brown.
Like some people get excited for July 4th.
Because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you.
That's right.
Hold on.
All right, here we go. Let's get this party going.
Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Hey, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali, and I'm representing to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. But more importantly, I'm representing to you from a state of mind. You hear me? It's called Good Morning Millionaire. Every morning we give you mindset. We give you affirmations. We give you heart set, skill set. Okay? All designed to help you go further, faster, with less effort. I got a special announcement. You know, we're going to be debuting. If you're not on the email list, make sure you reach out because I'm going to be making a special announcement about I'm going to be debuting. We got some brand new sets that we put together. So instead of you just seeing, you know, in the background, we're going to have like so I'm going to send out an email. We're going to debut it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you guys think. It's going to be like a big reveal. So I'll put out like a lot of promotionals. I'll put out some little information about it so that everybody knows. But I'm really excited about that. So stay on the tune for that. We're going to keep on moving onward and upward, just like we all are in this tribe of ours, right? But this morning we're here talking about mental toughness, right? We're here talking about different ways that entrepreneurs can build their mental toughness. Like, how important is that, right? Isn't that pretty important? Do you agree? Do you agree that at the end of the day, what you want to be doing is building your mental toughness? Can anybody relate to that? The good news that I got for you this morning, right, is that this mental toughness thing is not something that's just some static figure in your life. Mental toughness, the beauty of it is that there's a phenomenon in your mind called neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity means something cool, y'all. What neuroplasticity means is that literally your brain, not only can you learn new things, it's exactly what your brain was designed to do. Your brain is literally a learn new things device. And so when you're talking about mental toughness, some people seem to quickly bounce back from failure when it happens. But other people, and at other times, it's just much more difficult. My question to you this morning is that when life crushes you, when being a business owner starts to rock you to sleep, you start feeling some kind of way. Are you the kind of person that can quickly snap yourself out of it? Or are you the kind of person who finds yourself completely overwhelmed? You find yourself with not a lot of confidence in your ability to deal with the challenge. Because if you find yourself in that last category, you're really about to love this training this morning. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some exercises that you can use to gain mental toughness. Millionaires, your resilience is going to be tested when life throws you a challenge, when life circumstances change and you weren't expecting it, right? Somebody dies, you get fired, you get laid off. But oh my God, when you're running a business, every day is a challenge. Every day presents opportunities for challenge, I should say, because there is a way to run a business passively right into the ground. But I'm talking to entrepreneurs right now. I'm talking to you if you're looking for a way to gain mental toughness, the same way you can go into the gym and build it. So I got good news for you. This ain't no static figure in your life. Your level of mental resilience is not something that was designed at birth. Somebody say, I can change in the comments. I can change in the comments. I can change. Somebody say, I can change. Kim Connor checking in. Mark Bates in the house. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Allie? Somebody say, I can change in the comments. I can change. That's what it is. I can change. You hear me? I can change because you can. You need to understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you first, I'm going to give you 9 different of these sorts of strategies that the American Psychology Association put out. But first, of the 9 strategies, 3 of them are just categories where you can look at your life and ask yourself how you're using these 3 different categories and you're already going to change. You ready? All right, here's the first category. This is the first strategy, but it's also the first category I'm going to give you. That's right. I can change, baby. I can change. You can, because the world is changing. Check this out. You better change. You hear me? You better get to the place where you can change. You know what I mean? If not, what's going to happen is we're going to fall behind. My man Shiz in the house. Okay, Sananda in the house. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Cindy? Shouts out to DMX, RIP. I'm just going to leave that up for a minute. You hear me? RIP to Dog Man X, Dark Man X. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. You know what I'm talking about, bro? Straight up, straight up, straight up. All right, so check it out. 3 categories you can rock with. Clubhouse, my man Darvin checking in, Jakenya. Here's the first category. This is also representing a strategy, but I want you to look at your life in terms of these categories and see if this helps a little bit. The first category that builds your mental resilience, your mental toughness, y'all, is skill acquisition. Skill acquisition. That's why these morning trainings, we do not just the we do not just the I don't know which room you mean, Queen. Oh, in Clubhouse, look for the Millionaire Minded Club, Tori. Look for the Millionaire Minded Club. Look for the Millionaire Minded Club. My man Mike Stroud checking in. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, let's get it. All right, check it out. Skill acquisition. That's right. Appreciate that, Mark. Skill acquisition. When you acquire new skills, what happens is it builds your self-esteem. Acquiring new skills makes it so that you are watching yourself develop a sense of mastery, right? Confidence comes from competence. And when you look at this whole self-esteem building thing, when you look at the fact that you're building your competence, next thing you know, you start to look at yourself as somebody who has the capacity to solve problems. Millionaires, it builds your mental toughness. Don't you think you stick at it longer if you believe you can do it? You believe you can fix it? Well, when you start to act, when you focus on acquiring skills, when you focus on acquiring skills that aren't necessarily relevant to your target, but are relevant to your goal, everything changes. What do I mean by that? You know, we call it millionaire minded, right? Somebody give me millionaire minded in the comments. I am millionaire minded. It feels so good to be rich, right? That's what we talked about last night, right? All my Noone money millionaires know what I'm talking about. It feels so good to be rich, right? This is the whole idea behind this whole thing, man. Once you get into a place where you are confident, your world gets bigger because now you aren't looking for your validation. You aren't looking for your confidence points from them because you already got them. It's almost like you're in a casino. You got all of these chips, right? You're playing differently. You're like throwing a little over here. You're throwing a little over there, right? You throw a little bit on asking that girl out for a date. You throw a little bit on trying this outfit that might be a little bit out the box. You throw a little bit out on cracking that joke in the middle of your presentation because you have extra chips, right? You've got these extra chips from the fact that you realize you can bounce back from whatever happens. Does that make sense? Skill acquisition changes that. And the skills you need to learn might depend on the individual. But the difference between that target and that goal is like millionaire versus the minded. See, what you have to understand is that a lot of times people look at millionaire as the goal. Check this out. Millionaire is just the target that helps you get to the goal. And the goal is for you to increase as a man. The goal is for you to increase as a woman. Does that make sense to somebody out there? Does that make sense to somebody out there? That's your goal. All right.
Thank you. Entry tones are off. Exit tones are on.
Okay.
Entry tones are on. Exit tones are off.
Okay.
Entry and exit tones are on. Entry and exit tones are on.
Line is tripping this morning. But if you caught that first one, give me skill acquisition. Here's the second one because we got to keep on going. The second category of mental toughness building exercises that I want you to kind of look at this morning is goal setting, right? Goal setting is the second category. The ability to develop goals, actionable steps to achieve those goals, and then to execute those goals. They all develop your mental resilience. They all develop the way you look at yourself, which is what we're talking about here. This is all boiling down to self-image, because the strongest need in human nature is the need to act in accordance with your self-image. I know that's a lot to type out, but you might want to put that in the quotes because that's a game changer. The strongest need in human nature is the need to act in accordance with your self-image. You ever met an alcoholic that just swears they're a better person when they're drinking? They swear they're funnier. They swear they're more charismatic. And then what we do is we make the mistake of laughing along with them like, man, you're so funny when you're, you know what I mean? And they don't realize it in their mind. You're doing that because they're drunk. It's when they're drinking that they come alive, right? That's their self-image. And the strongest need, the alcohol, it's not just the liquor, it's the self-image. Do you see what I mean? So when you build yourself into a self-image of a person that sets goals and then achieves them, everything starts to open up for you. Does this make sense to somebody out there? These goals can be large, these goals can be small. But here's what I know. I know that everything that's large starts with the small. I know that. And I know that if you learn to give yourself props as you begin to achieve those steps along the way, you get a lot mentally tougher. I don't care if we're talking about physical health or we're talking about spiritual well-being. I don't care if we're talking about career or we're talking about financial goals. All I'm saying to you is that at the end of the day, you got targets and you got goals. And hitting the target is just so that you get better, so that you can hit the goal. You get what I mean? The target is hitting a piece of paper. The goal is to become a better archer. The goal is to have better aim. The goal is to have better hand-eye coordination. You get what I mean? And goals that have skill acquisition as a part of them now got a double benefit. You see what we did there? We said skill acquisition builds mental toughness. And then we said setting goals builds mental toughness, right? But imagine if you set goals that have to do with acquiring skills. You hear what I'm saying to you? Millionaires, if you're ready for the third one, somebody say, I'm going to set more goals. And then give me a share. I'm going to set more goals. You got to start looking at your I am statements like we talked about last night, right? You got to start looking at your I am statements. You got to start looking at I am setting better goals. I am setting and achieving goals. My mind sees my goals as already done. See, we can say that affirmation every morning, but it's a lot more powerful if you're setting more goals. I am setting more goals. I am setting more goals. I am setting more goals. Here's the third one, y'all. Here's the third one. Here's the third category, right? Psychologists call this controlled exposure, right? Controlled exposure is this idea of breaking the goal down. Controlled exposure is this idea of the fact that, yeah, we know no growth happens in the comfort zone and no comfort happens in the growth zone, okay? But anything that happens too fast normally ain't good, and it normally ain't gonna stay. You hear what I'm saying to you? Research indicates that when you break down that big goal and you control your exposure to the parts that provoke anxiety in you, right? You get better. That's what research has proven to us, that you get better. What I want to ask you to do, right, is ask yourself what happens if you begin to focus on acquiring more skills. You set goals related to those skills, right? Like, I want to be a better entrepreneur, right? And then you look at all these categories that you need to get better in. I need to get better at being attractive to the type of leads, the type of prospects that I want. I need to get better at having these conversations that mean something. Maybe that's the second category you want to focus on. Maybe you want to get better on filling up your calendar with appointments, right? Maybe that's one of the categories you want to focus on. Maybe you want to get better at your presentation, or how you edify the person that's going to do the presentation, or how you set up the materials that you have that describe your business to the person and does the presentation for you. Maybe you want to work on your conversion. Appreciate that, Kim. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate that, April. Thank you for the shares. Maybe you want to work on how you convert at the end. Maybe you want to work on how good your irresistible offer is at the end. But what I'm saying is, if you look at these different categories of being an entrepreneur, right? If you look at the fact that, like, A, I need to acquire new skills. B, I need to make sure that I'm setting goals that have to do with who I want to become. Who do I want to become? Somebody give me that in the comments. Who do I want to become? Who do I want to become? And then 3, I intentionally control my exposure to that world. Do you understand that's a triple benefit? Because now I'm controlling my exposure to the goals I'm setting that have to do with acquiring skills. My friend, you just became a juggernaut. You just became unstoppable. This is that if God is on my side, then who should I be afraid of? You hear what I mean? What I'm saying to you is that if you combine those 3, it's a force multiplier. Now I'm gonna give you a bunch more strategies that entrepreneurs use, right? And that you can use and start to apply. But I want you to look at what I'm giving you in terms of these 3 categories we just now laid out, because this is how your life gets better. You hear me? This is how your business gets better. But check it out. This is how other people's lives get better around you, because you got people that are watching you, that are proud of you, that respect you. You hear me? And when you get better, it inspires them to want to get better, but it comes from the inside. That's why we're so focused on becoming better people, because if the wings of the butterfly can cause a tornado on the other side of the planet, imagine what ripple effect your improvement is having on your friends and family. Imagine what effect your improvement's having on your coworkers and counterparts. Imagine what effect your improvement is having on the whole industry that you're participating in. Imagine what you're doing for humanity. So that leads us to strategy number 4 this morning, y'all, which is make connections. Make connections, y'all. Make connections. Make connections. Millionaires, check it out. Your mental toughness gets strengthened when you make more connections. Make sure you join the email list, because we're going to send you out. If you go to millionaireminded.com and put your email in the box, we're going to send you out these 20 questions. My brother shared this with me. There are these 20 questions that you want to know about your family and friends. Well, specifically your family, actually. Like, what were your parents doing when they met? What was going on when your mom was pregnant with you? There are all these incredible questions. And once you start to learn them, you build stronger connections with the family, even if some of them are wild. You know what I mean? Or even if you the wild one. You know what I mean? What happens is you begin to build your self-esteem because you're strengthening your connection. Healthy relationship. If you want a list like that, make sure you go to millionaireminded.com. Somebody put that in the comments. That's right. That's right. That's right. Make connections. That's right. Make connections. Make connections. Make more connections. Check it out, y'all. These are the relationships that are going to offer you support when you start going through it. You hear me? These are the connections that's going to like make your life better. You hear what I'm saying? Then check it out. When you're connected to them, that's right, Cindy. That's right. And then when you're connected to them, what you realize is all of a sudden you have the power to help other people. You hear me? You hear me? Now, when you're able to help other people in their time of need, guess what that does? Build your mental toughness, builds your self-image. All of a sudden, you look at yourself as a warrior, not a worrier. You hear what I'm saying? Somebody say, make more connections. Here's the next one, right? Here's number 5. Here's the 5th strategy I got for you, millionaires. It is an exercise looking for the opportunity in the challenge. It's an exercise entrepreneurs can use. If you will just, somebody say, look for opportunity in the challenge. I look for opportunity in the challenge. I look for opportunity in the challenge. That's a powerful I am statement. That's a mental exercise if you're an entrepreneur, right? I look for opportunity in the challenge. We can't change the events that are going on around us, y'all, but we can control our reaction. You know, there's this song, one of my friends, Simone, was talking about on her Facebook how a lot of times we say these things and then we don't even really think about what we're saying all the way, right? Like we'll say something like favor ain't fair. She posted something her pastor said was like, favor is absolutely fair. You know what I mean? It's like you get out what you put in, baby. Plus you want a God's favorite. Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? That make it fair. You know what I mean? And you know, there's another one that's out there. There's this joint where you be like, is this joint where it'd be like, you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't control the weather. Y'all know that from Andre 3000. But check it out. Check it out. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can adjust your sails. And check it out. It ain't the smooth sea that makes a talented sailor. It's not the smooth sea that makes a powerful captain. You get what I mean? It's the rough sea. It's the ability to adjust your sails according to the way that the wind is blowing. You get what I'm saying to you? I look for the opportunity, and the challenge changes everything for you. Here's number 6. Here's number 6. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Here's number 6, y'all. What if you began to not only understand that change is a part of it, right? But what if you decided to not only get to a place where you're looking for the opportunity inside the challenge, but what if you got to the place where that you really accepted that change is a part of life? Do you know that there's something weird that God does for us, right? And I ain't trying to preach to nobody on no Monday morning, but there's something weird God does for us, right? Where whatever you try to tell God you can't live without, God will take it from you to show you stronger than that. Can I get a witness? It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Boy, when the building is strong enough, the scaffolding, there's no need for it no more. You hear me? Millionaires, we have to accept that change is a part of living. You know, you always hear him say, you know, only thing constant in life is change. Only thing constant in life is change. You hear me? Check it out. Millionaires, the optional part is progress. The optional part is growth. And if you really understood that the difficulties in your life are turning you into a beast out here, if you only understood that you have been delivered the exact circumstances that are designed to turn you into exactly who you're supposed to be, you would approach life completely different. You would approach those difficult relationships completely different. You would approach those difficult prospects that you got on your chicken list, all those people you're scared to talk to. You'd approach that completely different. By accepting that there are certain things you can't change, it allows you to focus on the things you do have control over. So entrepreneurs realize that we don't get married to the response. We don't get married to the reaction. We don't get married to the result. We get married to our activity. Why? Because that's the part we can control. We can't control this other part over here. You get what I'm saying? And what we know is that it's not just about accepting that change is a part of living. It's accepting the fact that this whole world is reacting to us. Appreciate that, AJ. Appreciate that, Michelle. The whole world is reacting to us. That's what you got to realize. Once you get that, you got power, baby. Once you realize, like we were talking about it in the Kaizen Academy like last week, it was like, if I walk around and I punch people in the nose, or if I walk around and I hand out $100 bills, it could be the same exact person. They're going to treat me completely different because I'm the one with the power. Somebody say, I'm the one with the power. And then give me a share if you're feeling it. If you think this could help somebody. Somebody say, I'm the one with the power. I'm the one with the power. Yeah. I'm the one with the power. Come on, Shalonda. I'm the one with the power. Come on, Shalonda. Come on, Shalonda. I just need to leave that up for a minute. Yeah. That's right. Come on. I'm the one with the power. I'm the one with the power. That's right. That's right, Michelle. Come on, JD. YouTube coming through. Okay, Crystal. Let's go. All right. And then here's the next one. Millionaires. What if as an entrepreneur, you began to look for opportunities for self-discovery? Look for opportunities for self-discovery. What you got to understand is that's right. You're the one with the power. You got to understand you're the one with the power. You're the one with the power. Ain't that right, Diana? All right, Mama Mahasin in this joint. But see, this is the whole thing. For us to play it like that, right? For us to play it like that, what happens is we've got to be looking with intention for these opportunities for self-discovery. We got to look for these opportunities for self-discovery. Listen to me. Sometimes somebody will bring you a new perspective and you so caught up in what you used to think that you missed. Listen to me. You're the one that's in control here. You're the one that gets to control. Right now, you're living a life that is the echo of the thoughts you were having last year this time. You're in control. If you want to control the next year, then you start changing how you're thinking now. You're in control. Even when tragedy comes along, even when heartache, even when bankruptcy comes along, it's personal growth. That's the thing. You don't understand. It's amazing how God has designed us where we don't learn that much from winning. You are a real champion if you can learn from a win. Most times we win and then we go kick our feet up. Tell me I'm lying. Sometimes you need a little bit of difficulty just to see where we really at out this joint. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if we still got it, baby. And lucky us, you keep on living, you're going to keep on growing. You hear me? But I just want you to understand how much that heightened difficulty, if you really look for these opportunities to discover something about yourself, what the heightened difficulty does is heighten your appreciation. It starts to heighten your sense of gratitude. It starts to heighten, watch this, your capacity for gratitude. You literally can't really appreciate the sun unless you came through a cold winter. Think about it. The colder the winter, the more you be like, woo. Now some of y'all start complaining when it get hot and y'all was just complaining when it cold. It's like you got to pick a struggle now. That's a metaphor. I ain't saying it literally got to be the weather, but you hear what I'm saying to you? You need to look for opportunities for self-discovery. Like you got to ask yourself, damn, why am I upset when it was hot and I was upset when it was cold? It's time for me to do some self-discovery, baby. Know thyself. And a lot of times you can't do that unless you're looking for it. You have to be open to it. Somebody say, I'm open to self-discovery. I'm open to self-discovery. I'm open to self-discovery. We on number 8 now, right? We on number 8. I got 2 more for y'all, and then it's time for our affirmations, man. I'm open to self-discovery. I'm open to self-discovery. All facts. All facts. All facts. You better tell them, Shalonda. You better tell them, Shalonda. YouTube checking in. When y'all see that little red logo, that means they on YouTube, baby. That's what I'm talking about. YouTube checking in. I'm open to self-discovery. I'm open to self-discovery. Check it out, y'all. Sometimes that self-discovery comes in the form of somebody pointing it out for you. What if we decided to embrace people pointing it out for us, right? Right? What if we decided to embrace people pointing it out for us? Check it out. Here's number 8. I got 2 more for you. Here's number 8. Keep things in perspective. Keep things in perspective. That's a mental exercise. So what do we mean by that? Because everybody always says that. You know, when the going get tough, the tough get going. Check this out. When times get tough, what if you kept it in perspective? And this is going to sound like a cliche, rhetoric alert, cliche alert. I know somebody going, right? But check it out, y'all. Think about this. What if you made it a mental muscle? What if it was just part of your nervous system that when all hell seems to be breaking loose in this area, you automatically think about how it could be worse? What if you automatically trained yourself to think about how it could be worse? Because that's what I'm saying. You playing a comparison game anyway. You're just playing it in reverse. You're playing it in the wrong order. You're playing it in a way that disempowers you, that demoralizes you, that makes you feel like crap on a stick. What if instead, if you're going to play the comparison game, because I know it's a human thing to do, we need to know, we have to find a way to figure out our place in the world. We naturally are trying to compare this step to the last step. That's how we keep balance, right? We're comparing. Our equilibrium is literally based on comparison. So we can say it in personal development. Oh, don't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. And it's an absolute fact. It can be. But check this out. What if you decided to, instead of compare, empathize with people that got it worse than you? See, what if you kept things in perspective, right? When you're cultivating mental toughness, when you're cultivating resilience, it helps to play mind games with yourself because God knows they playing mind games with you. Why not do it with yourself? And one mind game you can play with yourself is to think about how it could be much worse. Literally, your life could be much worse. How do I know? Because you got internet. You know what I mean? You have a phone in your hand right now that has more power than the first space shuttle they sent to the moon. But you got to keep things in perspective. There are ideas all around you, but you got to keep things in perspective. They invented the toilet in 1775. They didn't invent toilet paper until 1850. That's almost 100 years, 1850 something. That's almost 100 years. Toilet paper was sitting there as an opportunity. I know some of y'all are like, that is really disgusting. But I'm just trying to show you, if you keep things in perspective, if you think like an entrepreneur, if you think like the millionaire minded, your whole life going to change. But not only your life, all our lives do. Because now you're listening for God when he's talking. You can't do that, though, if you're constantly blocked by distraction. Greatest trick the devil ever pulled, G-O-D, stands for goal over distraction. You hear me? What if you kept it all in perspective and stayed on your thing? And then that leads me to the last one. This is number 9, exercise for entrepreneurs. Y'all take care of yourself. It is time for us to get out of here, but take care of yourself. Millionaires, self-care is an essential strategy. You're not going to make it without self-care, without loving yourself. Sometimes we say go slow to go fast. This is another meaning of that. Sometimes you want to help everybody and you end up forgetting to help yourself. Well, guess what? You know, like they tell you on the airplane, you got to put your mask on first before you can put somebody else's on. Now, immediately after you put yours on, you're damn right, start helping people. But put yours on first. Millionaires, you ain't being selfish because you go get a massage. You ain't being selfish, ladies, because you go get a mani or a pedi. You're not being selfish because you go and spend some time with yourself, walking through the park, listening to the birds, looking at the differences on the tree bark. right? Checking out that little millipede that's running on the fence post. You hear what I'm saying? Sometimes what you need is a little bit more self-care, especially if you're going through a time that you've decided to term as difficult. Taking care of yourself means you're listening to your own needs, not just your physical needs, but your emotional needs. Listen to me. Maybe you're focusing on exercises that bring you joy. Maybe you're focusing on exercises and activities that bring you relaxation. What we're saying is that exercise is a form of self-care, and exercise is something that makes you feel strong. Don't feel bad about wanting to feel good, because the better you feel, the more you can help us. Repeat after me, millionaires. If you don't know, here's the line you can call in. If you don't know, it's affirmation time. You know what I mean? But repeat after me, millionaires. Say it like you mean it. We running all late, but I hope it was good to you. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful